Hello. Hello, guys. Good evening. It's actually evening now. So, good evening. How are you? Thank you again. My fifth actually, today, and thank you for joining. So, let's see who's going to be first so I can mention your name and greet you. Hello, Emmy. You're first right now in this program. Thank you very much. Pastor Ernest, good evening. Oriyomi, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining. Bola Luro, good evening. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you for Larry. How are you? Thank you guys, and welcome. Today is a book review. So this is our official program, 7 p.m. Ukraine time, that's 5 p.m. Nigeria and UK time. And we're obviously back again. You already know Dr. Sandey will be back at 9 p.m. today. So before I start talking about 9 p.m. program, we've got an amazing book review today. Guys, book review for me is my classes. All those classes that I missed when I was in school, this is my classes, and I really pay attention so that I can gain some of my lost years in terms of education and not paying attention. Dr. Sandey's book are, textbooks that are life transforming. So today we have how to become great through time conversion. So how to become great through time conversion. Guys, you already know that time conversion is a word that I actually heard for the first time from Dr. Sandey. I don't know anything about time conversion. I know the word conversion, obviously I know the word time, but in terms of converting time, what does that mean? I had no idea until I started listening to Dr. Sandey last year, and this is the word that many people have used to change their own lives in their understanding of time conversion. So you'll be joining us now today, where we'll be reviewing one of his many books, which is today's book is How to Become Great Through Time Conversion. And then there's other subtitles to go with it. I'm sure Dr. Sandey will show you. So please, guys, why don't you try now? Start, not try. Why don't you share? So right now, please share as many times as possible, and also invite people, because when you share, it just go onto your page, whereas when you invite people, you would invite them individually to join you in this live program. So please do so right now so that many other people can join us, and we can have a better world with other people having the same knowledge or understanding. We improve our world generally. So that's why I encourage people to invite as many people as possible. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera. We have many people here in the house, but I'm going to turn the camera to Dr. Sandey. You'll see him, you'll see two lovely ladies next to him as well. So just brace yourself and let's start. How to become great through time conversion, finally. Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Sandey Adelaja here. Now, the question that I would like to ask you in the auditorium, viewership, first of all, is whenever you hear the phrase becoming great, that you plan to become great, or you wish to become great, or you pray to become great, or you plan to become great, what will you normally think? What is it that you require for you to become great? What is the requirement for you to become great? What will be the ultimate answer when you ask people what will you need to have to become great? Will you people answer that question? What will you people, if anybody asks you that question, what will you need to have to become great? I think there is one universal answer that we could all know. What was it? Money. What will you say? Riches.
Yeah, talent, gift.
Talent, gift to become great.
Connection.
You people need to come to connection to become great.
Yes.
What will you need to become great? Money, yeah. So, yeah?
Good personality.
What does that mean?
Good person.
What does that mean? To be a good, every person, just by being good, you become great? I'm talking about being great.
Degrees. Qualification.
Huh?
Qualification.
Education.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you need to become great? Normally, people would think, if I have money, I'll become great.
Yeah.
If I have connection, I'll become great. If somebody helps me, I'll become great. If I have education, I'll become great. What? Yeah, if God will bless me, I'll become great. If God decides, I'll become great. Yeah, if God blesses me with miracle, or pastor prays for me, or give me the anointing, I'll become great. Or if I have great personality, I'll become great. Or if I have, whatever else, I'll become great. So people think that for you to become great, you need all this incredible opportunity that you cannot get for yourself. That even few, okay, let me ask you another question. And I'm asking you people at home too, so you'll be answering me as well. What is the other question is, is it not from my teaching now, just from naturally, as anybody in the street will answer? Can everybody just everybody and anybody just become great?
No.
How many people was it? Are there many or few that you?
1%.
Only a few people could be. So it's a known fact that only a few.
Yeah, I think you said 3% or something.
Only a few people could become great. Even that 3% you had from me. But I'm saying even without that, just answering that any other. 1%, or maybe less than 1%, who become great. How many great people have ever heard about? When I was growing up, the really great person that I knew growing up was, in my own time that lived, was Awolowo, was M.K. Abiola that I knew, Dan Tata, I heard about that one, and Nnamdi Azikiwe, all these people. They're just like 10 people. If I'm going to put them in my finger, they're going to be just,
Adelaja.
yeah, just like 10 people you'll be able to count. People that I know, a handful of people you could say, okay, are great. So it's like, it's a given, it's a common thing to know that people don't just become great. You cannot just decide to be great. Now, knowing that, take a good look at this book. What does it say?
How to become great.
Louder.
How to become great through time conversion.
So he's saying how to become great, and he didn't say through money, through riches, through connection, through education, through political connection, through anointing, through blessing. He didn't mention any of the things that we're used to. And I'm trying to tell you that, what I'm trying to tell you now, listen closely, everybody actually becomes great. The best way to become great, and the most common way people become great, is actually not through money. Yes, some people become great through money, but the most reliable, the most sure way, the most guaranteed way to become great is through one thing that is available to all. Can you imagine that the ingredient of greatness is available to everybody? To become great, you only need one ingredient, one resource. One resource, one ingredient. Time. But not time. I didn't say time.
Conversion.
Aha. You can become great through one thing, not through time conversion. Remember that word, conversion, time conversion, time conversion. That is a key to becoming greatness. Now, who has time? Who possesses time? Who has time? Everyone. Then why is it that we are down to only a few people could become great? Me, I don't understand. Didn't you just say only few?
Yes,
you said only few people. So how come then you say we all have what it takes to be great, and then you say nobody can be great? Okay, why is it then that I said we all have what it takes to be great, and then we are saying it is riches? You are mentioning what you don't have, but what you have, that it is actually the thing that is needed to be great, you are not mentioning it. You are neglecting it, bypassing it, and you are looking for what you don't have to be great. Whereas the requirement for greatness you already have. Let's say 2 weeks ago, in a matter of 1 week, I told Anu that he came out of oblivion and became a giant overnight in 1 week. In 1 week, he wrote his name in history forever. In 1 week, he was pastored before that, he didn't become great. He was anointed before that, he didn't become great. He was educated, he even got a degree before he started writing that, he didn't become great. But in 1 week, he wrote his name in gold. And today also, I told Victor the same thing. One day, you just strike like a lightning, like a thunder lightning in the heavenly places and on the earth. One thing. You spent time. You converted time. Little time. Maybe 1 day time. Or less 1 hour time. Or maybe time of thinking. But in the process of a week, somebody could write his name in history and become great. Greater than your mentor that we spoke about. In 1 week, that mentor has to become you now. Conversion of one instrument. You didn't have money to become that great. You didn't need money. You didn't need connection. You didn't need somebody to come from somewhere. But you got something, understanding, and you decided to use it. To use your time and convert it to produce a product or a service. And that product or service launched you to the world. We are still going to talk about that. And I told Victor about the same thing, but I'm not even going to touch Queen Anastasia because we have not even, our own has been long. But we spoke to you people about this, so you people know what I'm talking about. So in this book, How to Become Great Through Time Conversion, it has a subtitle that says, "Are you wasting time, spending time, or investing time?" That's one of the concepts in the book. Then on the top of the book, it says, "The greatest wealth in the world is the wealth of time. Learn to turn it, convert it into riches." Not raw materials into riches. Not oil into riches. Not butane into riches. Not gold into riches. Not company into riches. Not industry. What should we turn to riches? Something that everybody has. Time into riches? Is that really possible? Anyone that wishes to talk. Is that really possible? Who starts?
It's
Hold on.
for me, I think it's very antithetical. Just listening to that doesn't make sense to a layman, because well, everyone has time, and so you telling me that I can become great with what I had all this while.
That didn't do anything to me.
Yeah, and
I did that. It never.
And not just me having this time. If I go down memory lane, my great grandfather was not great. My grandmother was not great.
And they all had the same time.
And they had the same time. So what are you telling me? So it doesn't make sense to me. So I need you to break it down for me to know how to use the time to become great. So it doesn't sound logical, because it's counterintuitive.
What would you say?
Yeah, just like Pastor said, people are running, striving, looking for greatness in the form of degrees. I mean, education, anointing,
prayer mountains.
They're striving, and yet here you're saying that we have it. It's right in front of us. It just doesn't make sense.
I thought that time was just to know when to wake up.
Okay, I think you're right. I think that's what most people are thinking.
Yeah.
When to wake up,
When to
when to
wake up.
go to work.
I got 1 hour left, so what do I do now before it's time
It's
to go?
true. People say that a lot. You are so practical. I've got 1 hour left. It's still 1 hour before the time. It's not time to go. It's true. That is how people talk about time. Keep on talking. Me, I want to learn.
Oh yeah, so you say, okay, I got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What should I do? I should just think
Maybe
about
put
anything,
on television.
TV on, and you just waiting for a certain time to come.
Okay.
You know, and we wait. For
Wind away that
certain-
time.
Yeah, winding away, and all our lives we're waiting for a certain time to come. Oh, when this time comes, oh, it's gonna come 3 days from now. Okay, I'll just wait. It's only gonna be 3 days time before. Then I'll start doing something when after the 3 days I'll get ready to do what I need to do. So all this time we're just wasting it.
You know, because we're saying, okay, it's not yet the time to, so we just wait and don't make use of the time that we are wasting. How about those that say, I don't have time? That's another aspect.
That's another common phrase.
Yeah, I just don't have the time. But we have all the time in the world. We have all the time in the world, but you know,
I just don't have the time.
I just don't have the time. Because we don't really value time, so we don't realize that actually we do have time. Time belongs to us. Every one of us has 24 hours. So that's another one.
I think, for example, I have been able to relate with Japanese a little while now. And how can you say what is causing them depression? It's what can make them great. They don't understand it. They are working extra time, overtime, all the time. And they are depressed. So it's not like they're not even using time. But how can you then say this thing that we are using all our lives to work, that we are occupied in, and has not produced anything? How can you be saying it's going to make us great? Because we've been working all through and we are not yet great. My Japanese student asked me yesterday, and today I started to answer going through series. So how can I tell me how to spend my time? So it's not even a problem of the black man. It's a problem of every man. So I think it would be good if we have to do justice to this.
That's why only 3% of the world are 1% ever become great. Anybody wants to?
Yeah, I think Julie wants to say.
I want to say that time is actually not considered as a tool. It's not considered as something that you use to do something. It's more like, it's like air, something that's just there. You don't really consider it because it's so...
No, you don't see it as a resource.
Yeah, you don't see it as something you can use.
As a wealth.
As a wealth, as an asset. It's just there. So you take it for granted. It's like air. You don't really consider it.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
You don't take it serious?
No, I don't take it serious. I don't value time at all. And not until I came here and you started talking about time and conversion did I realize time is actually something as a tool and also something that I need to value. I thought of time as in, you know, if I'm at this time right now, I'm waiting for another time for something else to happen without actually converting it. So it's also something that I think of as, okay, the future. It's never the present for me. It's always, oh, how long do I have to go at work? How long do I have to do this? So it's time for me is always the future. But the conversion for it, the conversion of it is eliminated. It's always like I'm waiting for something. Even church.
Now that I wrote this book, somebody, I think Igor, sent it to my contact. And you know, when they came back with a letter to say thank you or something, they were all saying, thank you so much for the book you wrote on time management. So people are familiar only with, when you talk about time, the only other thing, if it's not like an empty place, the only other thing is only time management. That's what people are familiar with, time management. But I'm not talking about time management. I actually wrote in that book, time conversion. But they are not hearing it. No. Because it's so, I think it's so, the concept is probably so new and so unusual. Is it so unusual? Is it more time management that people are familiar with?
Yeah, yes, time management. I have never heard time conversion. Never. No.
Well,
Time is just flowing in the air. I mean, it's just...
How do you convert time? It's
Exactly.
the existence you live in. I mean, it's like the air you breathe.
Yeah.
So it's the constant. It's the.
So people don't even know it could be converted.
No. I mean, the first time I heard about time conversion, it was a rude awakening. So how can we? What do you mean? It was a foreign concept. I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Not tangible.
It's not tangible. So what do you mean?
We can only relate with time with clock.
Yes.
No.
With clock, and then we associate the time with activities. So that is the reason why, like, you have your wristwatch. You have your wristwatch. The reason why you have your wristwatch is because of the activities that you have based on the time. Like, for example, I have breakfast by 7, so by 7 I have my breakfast. Then the next time I need to recheck it's by 1 I have my 1. So that's what I need the time for. So we don't leave.
It also makes sense in terms of time
Yeah.
table.
So, and that's why we have timetable. We have timetable not for time conversion. We have timetable to allot.
Manage.
Yeah, for management. For you to.
And to see how much time we could waste, you know.
Was available to me.
That's it.
And even though, you know, we all understand the word time and we understand the word conversion, but when you put
Don't put it together.
when you put
Don't
together,
ever.
that doesn't compute to our mind. What do you mean by time conversion? I understand what time means to a certain degree. I understand what conversion means, but when you put the two together, I don't know. That's the foreign language.
So why do I tell people about time conversion and they tell me time management?
They thought you used the wrong word.
I use it wrong.
I also think time, the deepest person that would ever use the word time would say time waits for no one. And that's all they say. I mean,
It's an adage.
yes, and they just say time waits for no one. But
No, the deepest person always talk about time management.
well, I even think
But
the ones
not
that say
conversion.
vision, nothing.
The reason for time management is just like Anastasia was saying, was that you just use time. You first of all say there isn't enough time, so now let's manage this time because there isn't enough. The 24 hours is not going to do everything you want in
Yeah.
life, so let's manage it. See how we can manage it.
Is it not because people, industries and motivational speakers have talked a lot about time management? And all the motivational speakers and all the, even pastors sometimes talk about time management. Industry, companies and businesses talk about time management. Maybe that's why it's in the air. So when I'm talking about time conversion, they probably think I'm just using a synonym. I just have another name that I got, not to use the same management. I use another name.
Because the dual concept that we have been exposed to by the motivational speakers would be wasting time and spending time. So the better option or the way out of anyone wasting his time is to spend his time wisely, and that's the height of their thought. So that's where it stops. So don't waste your time, but spend it wisely. But then you are taking the stakes higher by saying, I'm not even talking about you spending your time now wisely, but I'm talking about you actually using that time and converting it into something.
Use it as a product,
As
that
a
you
tangible.
convert
Yeah.
into something
It's
tangible.
something tangible. So it's a whole.
You can tell by the consensus in the house right now how boldly we are to say this, even though it sounds foolish now, knowing that you're going to debunk everything. But we're saying it so boldly, not caring what other people think, because 99% of everyone listening to us as well have the same views. So help us.
Okay, the actual thing, the reality is that time is as tangible a product, just like this is tangible. Just like anybody has money, time is as tangible as cash is. Time is as tangible as this phone is, or iPad or phone. Time is as tangible as this computer is. Time is as tangible as you are and as I am. Time is just the same tangible product, but time is heavier, more precious than gold, than diamond. Time is valuable, and time could be used or must be used to produce things. And as a matter of fact, time is the material, the raw material from which everything is produced. So time is the raw material from which things are produced. So that's the beauty of it. Time is the raw material from which this cloth is produced, from which this cup is produced, from which this computer is produced. Time, we need to begin to conceptualize it as something that is tangible, that's a raw material, that's a resource from which everything comes. And that resource is under our power. and that resource is in our hand, is in our under our supervision, under our control. So the act of conversion, therefore, is the ability to handle time and turn it the direction you want and make it into products that you decide to make it into. For example, I don't know if you people remember what you did today between 11 and 3. But that's how many, 4 hours time. In that 4 hours time, I was able to produce a product. And that product is called a book. The name of the book, What Miracle Will Not Do For You, is going to come out anytime soon when I decide to release it. But that is a book right there. It's a physical product. Okay? So that is between the 4 hours. With that same 4 hours, somebody could have probably produced this. Maybe hundreds of them. What was he doing? He was converting that time, 4 hours time. That is like a quantity of resource, of wealth, that the person has taken time to adjust and spend the time. He spends the time, or spends the time producing something. So he came up with that product in 4 hours time. At that same time, 4 hours, somebody produced this jacket. He had this choice to spend that time or waste that time or use that time to just go and stroll or walk about. But he took advantage of the time, arrested that time, and channeled it into a particular product that he wants it to be. It's just like saying water is flowing. That's the same as time. So all of you, the only difference is that water you can see, but you can also trivialize it, the same as you trivialize time. Because water is flowing now. It's just beside my house. Flow. Water is just flowing. Or any country they have rivers, and they have ocean, or maybe not ocean. Not every country has ocean, but rivers, or lake, or any kind of water. So water is being trivialized as well. So you could trivialize it the same way. That's just water, it's just flowing. The same way you are trivializing time. But if you understand conversion, you could see that water that is flowing, that river that is flowing, put a machine there, and convert that water into electricity. That's what conversion. So that same water that you are just seeing that is just flowing is being converted into power, into energy. They put an instrument and converted it. So just like water could be converted into energy, or that same water could be converted into irrigation, agricultural irrigation, or that same water could be intercepted and converted into water supply, city water supply, or home water supply, into something tangible and productive that you see. So also must time be intercepted and be diverted, be managed to produce and be engineered into producing exactly the concept that is in your mind. That is what we call time conversion. I wanted to talk about this, but I thought somebody should remind me, but nobody reminded me. I think it was Julie. But, you know, she was busy trying to get herself blessed by the beautician, so she never reminded me what I needed to know. I'm considering in November to do either of three. Normally in November we have Asian tea. So I think I might need to say it when we have more people on that 9 o'clock. I want to conduct HMT about either of three topics. One of the topics I wanted to I wanted to talk about, because all these topics, I will still talk about them anyway. Maybe I was thinking of doing daily broadcasts for them, but like the truth now, I'm doing daily broadcasts, it's taking almost a month. But with HMT, it's so intense that the whole day I could be talking about this. So I could do a month program in 1 week. So there are some very important topics that I'm thinking of talking about in our HMT in November for adults. If people will come, if people are coming down for that November HMT, and if they are interested in this, I want to talk about either how to physically and practically produce products, how to become an inventor, innovator, and a maker, a producer, a creator. So that's one topic. She already wrote it. I have the second topic that I wanted to talk about is principles of national transformation. Principles that will help you to build a nation or to transform a country. Then number three thing I was considering talking about is the expansion. I want to really expatiate on the concept of conversion, how to convert everything on a daily basis. Everything you see, how to convert into a product. Anything you hear, how to convert into a product. How to convert, make conversion your lifestyle. How to convert basically anything that comes your way. How to really concept, even thoughts that come to your mind, how do you convert them? How do you convert words that you hear? How do you convert feelings that you have? How do you convert prayers that you make? How do you convert praise and worship that you enjoy? How do you convert the goosebumps that you feel? So everything, how to convert everything. How to convert your relationship. So that is another, those are three topics that I'm considering talking about. So I wanted my viewers, and maybe people who are here now, you can already begin to indicate your interest. What do you think will be most interesting, especially if you are coming in November? I want to hear the opinion of the people who are coming, and what do you think will be more interesting to you? Is it time conversion? I mean, it's not time conversion only. Is it conversion? Is it principles of transforming a nation or national transformation? Or is it how to become a creator, innovator, and inventor? So try it, what you think.
I like the third one.
I like
To
the
be
third
a
one.
creator, inventor.
Yes.
How to become a creator,
Yes.
practically, how to practically create. That's what you like.
Yes.
Yesterday, everybody said they wanted conversion, but what do you think?
One and three, one of the two.
Show it to yourself.
Okay. Okay, the options that Dr. Sandey has just given us for topics that he would like to discuss for HMT in November. The first one, this order, is how to convert into tangible products. Become an inventor, become somebody that produces.
Convert is different from invention.
Okay, all right, hold on, let me think.
I know it's
got it. All right.
So the first one is how to become a creator and inventor. So there, Pastor will be expatiating how you can produce anything. How to, if it's an idea, but just to make you an inventor, a creator, or an innovator. So he's going to show us the practical steps on how to do that. Then the second one is how the principles of national transformation. So that's clear. And then the third one is the conversion series. So everything that has to do with conversion, be it the goosebumps that you feel in church, or is it an idea that just came to your mind, or something you heard from somewhere, but just how to convert it into something tangible. That's the third one. Yeah.
Okay, so those are the three options. So changing things, becoming an inventor. The second one, being a national transformer or transformation person. And then the third one is how to convert.
Changing the nation. Yeah?
Changing a nation. And the third one is how to convert everything you feel every second, either is your feelings, either is your thoughts, either is emotion that you're feeling, anything, how to convert it as it's happening. So we're thinking 1 or 3, and I think some people also are putting in the comment here saying 1 or 3. So if you've got any ideas of which one you would prefer, or you can give us your own option, 1, 2, or 3, please let us know. Amarachi.
No, let them keep on writing.
Okay, keep on writing, and then Dr. Sandey will continue. So let us know, and then we would tell you probably at the end of this.
So now, you people have started listening to me for a while, because I'm not going to teach today. I'm only presenting a book today. So let me show you the book again. This is the book. So how do you call it?
The book is How to Become Great Through Time Conversion. So try to enlarge it. Can you put it up a bit, Frank? Yeah. So How to Become Great Through Time Conversion is the book, and it's available on Amazon right now, guys. It's both electronic and paperback. So check it out, Amazon.
And I think maybe it's on Okada as well.
You can also check Okada if you're in Africa. Okada Books if you're in Africa. OkadaBooks.com if you're in Africa.
Okay, so how to become great through time conversion. Now that you have been listening to me, I want to ask you the question: how do you bring the product or the result, which is greatness, that result, how do you bring it out of the invisible material, invisible resource that is called time? And how has that begin to work in your own lives since you started listening to me? Have you really discovered that things have started changing for you from the expressed previous attitude to work, to time that you all mentioned? That was how the general public and the way you were perceiving time before you became disciples of Pastor Sandey. Now that you have become Pastor Sandey's disciple, has time now been converted into anything yet in your life? Have you experienced that and that magic yet? The magic of conversion? Anybody want to start?
Yes, I have experienced that.
It's a magic.
Before I, when I've never heard of time conversion or anything, I really wasted a lot of time. And how did I?
Because you are no more 18, huh?
And I would say I wasted a lot of time dreaming. These images would come to me, and I would just admire them. I would say, "Oh, what a wonderful thought! Wow, what a beautiful idea!" And I would just spend my time just saying, "Wow, that's really lovely and great. I wish I could do it." But I never really. I just let those images go. I just, let those dreams. I just convert the dream to reading a book about maybe what I dreamt about, or watch a movie, or what I was thinking about. So I wasn't using time at all. I knew nothing about converting time. In fact, when I did find out about converting time, listening to Pastor Sandey, I began to observe myself, and I really wanted to see scientifically how much time was I wasting. I was trying to tell myself, well, I don't waste that much time. I do this and I do that, and so I make good use of my time. So when I started deciding to do some projects, I would find myself sitting down to do it, and I totally wasn't even with the project idea at all. And my mind just kept on going. I thought, no, maybe my mind isn't going like that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I thought, no, it's not. So what I decided to do, I decided to use a pen and make little marks. Every time my mind shifted and time was going, I wanted to see how much time, I was really ashamed. I mean, one time I had 50 little dots within 3 minutes. My mind had just gone. I had just wasted time. Then I started saying, okay, let me see how much of what I'm doing for the day, how much time did I really need for what I need to do this? And I found that things that I needed to do that were like 1 hour, it would take me like 6 hours. Sometimes it would be the whole day because I was just lax with time. I would say, I'd get back to that. Let me just do something.
You didn't realize that time needed to be converted?
I didn't know that at all. You know, so I started studying myself and saying, wow, I am wasting so much time. So when I decided to do my projects and write outline for them, I was thinking this would take me 6 to 9 months. So I decided to practice this time conversion. And I had already known myself that I'm wasting a lot of time by daydreaming, doing other things and saying I'm coming back. So when I focused with these projects that I wanted to do, that was supposed to take at least 6 to 9 months. To my surprise, with a little bit that I knew about time and conversion, I literally finished these projects outline in 3 months.
6, ooh,
I
wow.
couldn't believe it. In
Economize 6 months.
I mean, I was thinking, oh my gosh.
So in 3 months, she
3 months.
produced a physical product out of time. And the things you would have wasted 9 months doing.
Yes. Yes.
Anybody what's your own experience with living your life, and now the last 1 year, how much is conversion being introduced into your life?
Okay. Before I met Dr. Sandei Adelaja and before I knew about time conversion, for me, most of it was wrapped up in religion, where time is you pray. You pray and you wait for it to happen, to mysteriously happen, for God to do it for you. So a lot of the time was wasted in the waiting.
To do what for you? Anything you want?
Yes.
Your desires.
Yeah, your desires. Okay. And you're waiting for confirmation. That was one of the key time wasters for myself. Now the breakthrough came for me. The breakthrough came immediately when I heard that time can be converted to a product and a service. You don't know the liberation. You don't know the freedom. You don't know the joy that I experienced coming to this revelation that actually time can be converted to a product and a service. And as soon as I got that, I just had the freedom immediately to act. I think in the past, my sense was locked up in praying and waiting, because that's why that's why I've been trained. You need to wait to hear the voice to say yes, to go ahead. And obviously, we've been told that God has given us everything on the earth. You have all that you need. Yes, you need to pray, but you just need to step out and do things. We've got Bill Gates, and they are not waiting upon the Lord. They're converting a lot of stuff. So for me, the key was when I heard converting it to a product and a service. That gave me so much confidence to just step out and do. And that's when I started doing my life story series, which turned into a talk show, which turned into My Daddy God for Real, which turned into Stay There and Flourishing, which turned into Sporting God, Daddy God, every day. Basically, it just went on and it was so easy because now I knew that, okay, time is a resource and you channel it into a product and a service. And I think many Christians don't understand that concept, that it can be converted into a product and a service. And it's been the greatest joy, the greatest liberation, because the thing is that you have all these things in your head, and because you've been told all your life that you must wait for confirmation, so you don't realize how you're held in bondage because you have all these things in your mind, and you don't realize that you're in prison. Actually, you don't realize. It's almost like depression because God or Daddy God is flooding your mind with these things, but you're waiting for him to come and convert, or you're waiting for a voice to say, "Thus saith the Lord, go ahead and do this project." But now Dr. Sandei comes and says something about conversion, and the conversion turns into a product or a service. brilliant.
She spoke about the book or the what do you call it? Is it not a book? The project book
Yeah.
that she came up with in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So she produced a product.
Yes.
Any particular product that you like to tell us about that you have been able to produce over this period of time?
Well, like I said, I started with when Dr. Sandey asked us to launch our platform. When he did the teaching, life is not an accident. It is not. Life is not an accident. It's not an afterthought. Yes. Now, yes.
You are not an
You're not. Yes, I'm not. And that was the key.
Not an afterthought.
Yeah, afterthought. That was the key, because this is what he said. He said, every one of you go out. These were his instructions or encouragement, but what we want to call it. He said, go out, go and launch your ministry, whether it be Facebook, whether it be a book, whether it be a blog, whether it be what. And that is what I did, and that has just opened doors. I mean, I'm just flooding with.
So the same time, day in, day out, every year, that was going and being wasted. You didn't take charge of it.
No.
Like that irrigation.
No.
You didn't stop it
No.
and measure it and use it to produce your platform.
No.
But now you took charge of your time.
Exactly.
And you put a limitation. You blocked it and put a platform.
Yes.
So what are the platforms that you've been able to produce?
Okay, so I did the My Life Story series. I've got a talk show called.
And now you have how many videos on like that particular topic?
The My Life Story series. I think there's seven.
So that is time she started converting her time. Now she has video cassettes on Facebook. I mean, video recordings on Facebook,
And
on
YouTube.
YouTube, on your platform,
Yeah.
on my platform. People could download that and put it in cassette and do anything with it in any country of the world. People are watching that from
All over the world.
all over the world. Just now you are being known all over the world. Now you are healing people all over the world. People are being like, but you were alive before.
Yes, I was alive.
No, you were alive before. Before that 1 year, before you got that platform.
Yes, I was alive.
So what was happening all those years?
I was wasting time. I was doing nothing. I was just waiting for a manifestation, waiting for a miracle, waiting for a booming voice to say, "Thus says the Lord."
But this was not 1, 2, 3 years.
No, I've been a Christian 30 years, and that's why I said that this is the most liberating. Doctors, I don't know whether you really understand this, because you're different. You're from a different world. But for us, this is the. I think understanding that I can convert my time to a tangible product and a service was healing in my mind. Because, like I said,
you don't need to wait for connection.
I didn't need to be
for blessing.
I didn't need for prophetic alterations, or I didn't need to be delivered. I didn't need to chase after prophets. I didn't need to go to the mountain. I didn't need to fast and pray for 40 nights or 100. I didn't need to do all those things. All I needed to do was stop and look at my time, break it down, and put action, add action to my faith. This is the idea.
And you produce.
And I produce it. And that's what happened. That's all. It's as simple as ABC.
But that's not the only product you've produced.
No. So apart from the My Life Story series, listening to Dr. Adelajah, I've gone on to do the talk show series since I started, I think, in January this year. I have a page called My Daddy God for Real, which is to date, I think I've got probably almost 170 followers. I have another group called DSA Notes and Messages. I think I've got over 300 people there. Then last 3 weeks, I opened another page called Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life. Spotting Daddy God in Everyday Life. And then I've got another page called Stately and Flourishing 50+ Woman. So it goes on and on. I have to even stop myself. I have to stop myself. I have to control myself. And apart from that, out of listening to DSA, and I've got coaching, I've got mentoring, I've got a healing journey group. It just goes on and on. In fact, I need to stop myself. Yeah, it's just.
You're becoming so productive.
And it's so freeing.
And all these people following you, 300, 100, all these people following you. Where were they and where were you?
Well, they were there, but obviously I was not there. I was alive.
You couldn't gather them?
No.
For 30 years?
No. No. The key was convert, capture the time, convert it into a tangible product.
And now those people know you for who you are.
Yes.
But nobody knew you were there before.
And I've only done this for, like I was saying in the previous recording, broadcast, next month will be 1 year since I met you. Just 1 year. But meanwhile, I've been a Christian for 30 years and nobody's known me. Nobody cares to know me anyway. But today, through BSA and conversion, and you know what really, the day that really made me understand the impact I'm making through listening to your messages was on my 54th birthday. The birthday wishes kept on coming 2 days, 3 days afterwards, which has never happened.
You discovered that you are no more a local champion.
Yes, that's when I discovered.
You are no more the mother of 2 boys and the wife of somebody.
That's when I discovered.
Of Evans.
Yeah, that's when I discovered.
So you are no more just a piece of, just like another mother or wife. You became a personality and a deliverer to thousands.
Yes, that day on my birthday, and those wish we kept, because normally you just, you get.
You came out of your shell.
I came out. Look at me now. I'm out of my shell. It's amazing.
A woman of substance.
I'm a woman. I'm a stately and flourishing 50+ woman.
Tell them now.
I am.
But it's only people who don't believe your age, though.
Well, and it is just. You don't know the freedom, the joy. I'm telling you, just by listening to Dr. Sandey Adelaja, okay? Just follow those instructions. They're simple as ABC. Just do it. And that healing that you've been chasing the prophet, you don't need it. You just begin to bloom. You'll be so happy inside of you. I tell my husband, right now, I'm the most happiest person, the most happiest wife. I tell my husband, you see, I'm the most happiest. I don't think my husband has seen me this fulfilled and it all goes down to learning to listen to simple, because the way Dr. Sandey teaches is very easy to understand. It's very simple and it's easy to follow. That's what I don't know about other people's experience. For me, it's because you hear teachings and you hear messages, but afterwards there's nothing to But when you teach, I just find it easy to go and do, to go and apply, and there's joy in doing it. Whereas the other ones, there's condemnation following you, and which doesn't even make you want to do it anyway. But this one, you hear it, it's been broken down to the most simplest way, and you just take that step of faith like a child, and you just go and do. And yes, I'm not saying that when you're launching out, maybe you might not feel afraid, or you might not be quaking in your boots, but still, you do it. You learn as you go, and trust me, I'm really enjoying my life
right now.
Yep, that's why I've been here for.
But you are converting every month, because you've been here for a few days.
Yes.
And even now, after you finish the training you are doing, you are always converting something.
Yes.
Doing something with your time.
Yes.
And you are here for 3 months? And these 3 months, you've been on one topic, not just enjoying your time. Is it not like a strenuous life that way, that you're supposed to enjoy your life, vacation?
Oh, no.
Are you not on vacation when you came home?
I can't sleep.
I get enough time.
I am up working, researching. I mean, people ask when we see you on your platform, you're always smiling. I said, you guys don't understand. This is something that's been in me for years. It's like giving birth to your baby finally.
Yes.
And seeing your baby and just, you're just full of joy that you brought this fruit
to life.
To life. And then another thing too is,
It's amazing who's been waiting for you. It's amazing who's been waiting for you. My very first one was just a 3 minutes. The internet just went off and it was just a 3-minute thing. And when I went back to look at it, 300 and something people looking at a 3-minute something. I haven't even started even talking about anything. And I was like, what? From where?
So people are out there in need of you.
In need. And so the fulfillment of knowing that you are helping people in the most simplistic.
But you didn't even realize people were waiting for you.
No. Not that many people.
Maybe all of us people are waiting for you.
Yes.
But we might not realize it. Who do I need? Or who needs me?
Yes. And you know, my gifts and talents, I was wondering how they would all work together in my life. And, you know, I have talent with writing drama, choreography, for drama, for dance and all this stuff. How would, you know, I know you could go on the stage and you could do all that. That's fine. I understand that. But in real life, how does this whole thing come together? And as I was doing the platform, I realized that my approach, then my drama skills came out. Okay, I want to start from an introduction, you know. So I saw how my skills in drama helped me in my presentation. How do I want to put it together so people can follow? You know, if I'm writing a story, I want people to follow this scene to that scene, just roll smoothly. So I saw all these skills was helping me build these information that I wanted to give. And also the research, I thought I knew something, but then when I go back and look, because I say, I don't want to waste people's time. If they're going to spend 10 minutes with me, remember we're talking about time. I don't want them to sit down, you know, for 15 minutes with somebody who hasn't prepared anything and just talking from the top of their head and just trying to make it through. I don't want to do that to people. I want to respect their time. You're talking about time conversion. I also want them in the process to convert their time to something that's going to be beneficial for them. So for me, it's really been amazing. No more wasting time now. I can't sleep. I'm up to about 3. I was telling you, okay, another conversion. As soon as I knew about it, since I've been here now, I was just telling him, I was just giving you the best number. I know it's more than this, but I have written 150 topics. 150 topics on what God wants to tell the church.
And people wonder, how do you write so much? She's got 150 in 3 months of being Ukraine. 150 topics. So why should you wonder why I have so many books? 150 in 3 months.
In 3 months. In fact, it's less than 3 months though. I got the 150 probably on my second platform. Yeah, second week. But I was here one day. I wasn't listening anymore. It was just coming. One after the other. I put the pen down. Another one comes. Another one comes. And as they're coming, I'm seeing the picture. I'm seeing what it means. I'm seeing what God wants to tell the church. You know, he's in love with his church, and he wants his church to know about his love and
so that
gift,
it. That artistic gift, then that state gift is coming to operation now.
Yes.
So, do you people remember the question I started with you people about you people coming from oblivion, both Victor and Ano, and just establishing yourself and your name in the space of time and in the reality of this generation right now, and you're becoming a force to can't wait. What is happening? How did you live your life up till? How old are you?
21.
You are 21 now?
Yeah.
21. Okay, so you've lived 21 years of your life. Why is it that just this year you are shooting for like a star? And you've lived, how can you finish 21, finish the medical school after 21? That's very strange to me.
How old are you?
23. Not 21. Okay. Then how old are you?
25.
25. So so you people have lived 21, 22 years, 24 years of your life, but even though you've been doing things, but you just shot for these few weeks. So what did you understood something, that is a factor. But you also did something. And that there is conversion in part of what you are doing and what you've done.
I think the major difference has been not just in what you say, but we've also been around you. We've seen how you live. And sometimes we ask you, how are you? And in the morning you say, how was your night?
Observation is the best
observation,
teacher.
Say, how was your night? Say, You want to know? I've learned not to consult with my body. I just do what I have to do. And we see how every minute goes. We see the work ethics. We can see, and we are challenged. Not just by what you say. If we were saying it and we are far, it's a different thing. We see it. And that it's not just you're doing anything. It's not just a random movement. It's not just a purposeless dilly-dallying. No, that's not what you're doing. You're doing things that are strategic. You're doing things that are futuristic. You're doing things that you say you see yourself 300 years from now. And that is what makes the difference. So I think we've been doing things too before. We've been, for example, I've been controversial all my life, but the difference has been in what purpose, to what extent, what purpose does it really achieve? How great is it? Am I doing what everybody has been doing? Or I am intentionally using that time to do what nobody will dare to do.
Wow. Say that again. Using that time
to do what nobody.
So converting the time into
products.
A product
that nobody people are shying away from, even though they may be admitting that a problem exists. I think probably the day you finally talk about the 3 sons of Adam, then people will probably get even a clearer picture. So I have been opportune to be with you, you've shared it with me, and I have decided to be set. So when I'm converting my time, I'm not converting it as Abel, who is the victim. Neither am I converting it as Cain, who is the problem. I'm converting it as Seth, who is the solution. So, and strategically in time, so that I will not just be part of the mixed multitude. A lot of people are talking everywhere, but the question will be, what will be the difference between what I am saying?
That's what I'm saying. Because you were talking before too.
Yeah.
But just like every other person
is talking.
But these few days, and this few weeks, it's just like you came out from underground.
Yeah. To separate oneself from what has been the norm. Yeah. And that is exactly what time conversion is. To manage time is to use your time to do what is normal. What has been. I mean, that's time management. When do you sleep? When do you wake up? When do you go to work? When do you have time to rest? I mean, that's just normal. But when they say time conversion, it's saying looking at the inherent wealth in you, what you possess that somebody else does not, and begin to live, to express, to live in the reality of who you are. I mean, that self-expression. I'm not expressing.
But produce a product
that is yours for the world that nobody else may ever produce. I mean, that's stamp.
Because each product that you are producing is even different from what I am producing.
Exactly.
But the impact is amazing. And each product you are producing is now different from each other, distinctive.
Yeah.
But impact amazing. You are not even doing so much like, recording of something like you were doing before. It's totally different style. Even when you were doing the thing together before, you are just doing like everybody else, doing some good topic and things. But now, even without that, you just shot off like a star from the sky. So conversion of time into the product that exemplifies you, that you want to see, that you are seeing inside yourself. So time is being used concretely, specifically, for unique product which speaks your own uniqueness.
If I may add, the converting time for me now has shifted from seeing time, like Anu had said earlier, as a timepiece, 12 to 12. We see time in the measurement of eternity. So we're able to project into the future that does not exist, and we convert that time and bring it into the manifestation now. So that's why
bring product from
future and that's the time conversion, because it cannot be managed, because it's not yet a reality. It's not here now.
And time management is managing what
you have,
exists,
what you have, or what you plan to have. But that one is in the future. So that's why when you, for example, when you are planning a project and the same thing I'm trying to do, I don't want to do anything that in 25 years will not be able to stand the test of time. In 35 years will not be able to stand the test of time. I want to, like I learned from you, build a monument for myself that's not built by hands and that nothing can erase. And so when I'm doing that, bringing things from the future, my products are different. Because, and the basis for this is to look into the future, what will still be true in 25 years. That's what I want to do. So every time I'm doing that, I'm
So time conversion is converting from invisible world, the world of the future, the world of the world of the invisible, the world of truth, the world of future, the world of the spirit. Bring it from there, the product of the future, of the spirit, of the kingdom. Because the greatest you could see is to see into the kingdom. When you see into the invisible kingdom, you now bring the truth that you see from that, the reality of the kingdom, you bring into this reality of the now. And that is the in form of product. Okay?
Well, I'm just, so it's amazing to me, being that, you know, formerly, I used to think that as you grow older, your impact would grow with you.
Oh.
And that's like the general.
That's why your father is the most popular person in town.
So, more like greatness is attached with time and age. So
old people are very popular.
So
and they're very great.
because ordinarily, wisdom comes with age. That's what people say, because ordinarily you think, okay, if you're young, what can you really achieve? You can't achieve so much, because there was a time that I was so intimidated with my age, because I was always around people that were older than me, like even till now. So I used to be very, very intimidated because I was just there and I used to reason with them. So when I got to understand that, well, it's not really about how old you are. I lost touch of my age. So right now, like when you asked me, I was like, I had to even calculate it. So I just said 21. Like, I have a clue, remember how old I am. Mine just leave. And it was, I would say that because I got to discover that I was in Ukraine for over 5 years, but there was nothing tangible that I could hold on to. Yes, I was doing a lot of things, but there was
activities were plenty.
So much activities, but there was really nothing, because that's the idea. No conversion, because the idea with conversion is there is the initiation of a process with an end product, a tangible product in mind, in view. But with spending time, there is no end product in view. So you're doing a lot of activities, because obviously in the process, there are activities in the process. But the difference between this process and the other one is that there is an end product that you already view.
That you are planning to produce.
To produce. That's when you're converting. But when you're spending time, you're doing stuff. But if you sit back and ask yourself, okay, what have I done over this year? Like, what is a tangible thing I can produce? There's nothing. That was my life for like 5 years, being in Ukraine, and with the other ones I've lived. But when I started listening to your conversion, I always tell you that for me, the conversion series was like the light bulb, when you kept on saying that we should never forget the word conversion, that is the most important word on earth, the most important word. And since then, in a year, that's before this last week, in a year, as a final year medical student, I started an initiative, Mind Revolution Initiative. While I was in my final year, I started a school of purpose and destiny, where I was training people on how to discover themselves, discover who they are, discover their purpose, discover their gifts. All of this I converted in just less than a year. And even much more is what happened recently, because myself and Victor, we used to have our weekly show where we address, but like Victor rightly said, if you're saying the same thing that everyone is saying, then what are you doing? But then recently, we started converting our time to really addressing issues that everyone would shy away from.
A unique product.
Yes. So I used to post on Facebook normally, and nobody
even cares.
Nobody cares about my post.
No, yeah. I didn't even notice that.
Yes, I could post on Facebook, and nobody even, maybe one or two people.
Only your friends.
Yeah, friends, but when it became intentional
to produce a
product
unique to you,
in 1 week, it was
your significance
like
went beyond all the 5 years.
Yeah, it was mind blowing.
For me, it was like you came alive. It was like you were not existing before. Do you feel that too?
That's so true, because for me, I had a greater reason to even live every day, because when you start, that's something that comes when you start converting your time. You wake up you wake up and you're like, wow, another day to make a greater impact. That's how it is. So every day is like, formerly it was like, okay, just wake up your day and then you have some things you want to do, but you're like
activities.
Yeah, but like you are sleeping, haven't made impact, and you're waking up, greater impact to make. That's how it is.
Maybe that's why she couldn't sleep.
Yes.
Sleeping less.
Yes. I started sleeping for 4 hours. Sometimes 3 hours in a day. When I was converting,
when you started converting,
my family, they couldn't understand, because like I'm from school, I'm back to my house, I'm converting, we're staying together. Victor comes to the room, he's like, I'm on my laptop, I'm just there working. I'm like, what's up? Like, no time for, like, I used to feel weird when I go to the toilet with my laptop or with my phone, trying to use it for. But then when you said that you go to the toilet with your iPad, I'm like, okay, yes, have someone in conversion. Yeah, conversion. Every time. If I'm walking on the street trying to go to somewhere, maybe to buy something, I'm plugged. I'm listening to something. For me, I got to understand that it's a whole process. So it is possible that you've not gotten to the place where there's production. I mean, where there is tangible products, like, okay, I have a book. But the time you're using to meditate on what you want to do, you are converting. So I got to understand the different stages of conversion. That is not until I have a book, because that is the end product, or it's not until I had my school. But while I was going to school, I was thinking about, okay, so now this is what, okay, in stage 1, this is what I want to teach my students. So while I was in the bus, well, everybody was looking at me seated, but I might not be reading anything, but in my mind, I'm already converting the time, already thinking about, okay, this is what I want to do. First thing, I'm going to teach them this. So I got to understand that, well, the major thing is that you are not just existing, you're not a biomass, that you are intentional with what you're doing. You already have what you want to do in mind. So every of your thoughts, for the amazing thing is that everything begins to make sense. You can pick up clues, especially when your mind has been set on focusing on something, when there's a product you want to achieve. Things that you just see and you just pass by and it doesn't send any information to you. Now you can't just, those things you don't just pass by, because you just see them, you're like, yeah, this is a part of the whole piece. So I could just be walking and then someone just says something like, come on, that's a piece right there. I add the piece to my process, and at the end of the day, you just discover that you are really living. Life is in a whole new realm for you, because you're not just passing through life. You're not just existing as a biomass, but now you understand that you're here for a reason, and then with every second, with every hour, you know you're in the process of conversion. And you can be very sure, and that talks about how life is predictable. You can be very sure, like when I was preparing for my school, I was very sure that at the end of 3 months, my school material and everything will be ready. And I already drew my plan. That as at this time, I'm going to conduct this training. So I already knew, and when it was that time, my training began. So life actually becomes predictable. Because like what Pastor said, that what makes life is time. Because time is life, and life is time. And what makes life predictable is because time can be converted. So if time can be converted, then you can predict what is going to happen tomorrow. Because that's what is.
And if it's time that makes life life,
yes,
it means that life itself comes out of time.
yes.
So if time is what makes life life, it means that then from time we could convert everything. Time could make everything too.
Everything.
Just like it made life life.
That's right.
If time is life, time could also be product. Time could always also be all these things.
So true. So true. So it's, for me, it's like, well, I have not read it from nowhere, time conversion. And it just makes me value every minute. I can't just sit down to engage in baseless conversations.
But somebody could be listening to you. Is it on time management?
No, because the difference between time management, like I said earlier, is that with time management, when you don't have any product in mind
Or
ahead, you're just doing activities. You're just spending time. So there is no, because
you're just managing it.
But with conversion, if you're going to use conversion already in it has a product,
even though invisible. But time management is dealing mainly with visible.
Yeah, with activities. What to do, how to channel this time. Okay, this time I want to spend with my children, and so that I can manage it. So I don't miss out.
I come fast from work.
Yes, I come exactly. But with conversion,
I need to wake up at 7 to go to work.
But with conversion, it just gives your life a meaning.
Product.
Yes, it gives your life a meaning. Huge.
This is the book. How to become great through time conversion. My next question to you people is, what about greatness? You have tasted greatness thanks to the way you started converting this last few days and few weeks. But you know, like no other person, you know what it means to become great through time conversion. And you, because you are becoming famous, very famous, in a short span of time. More people have come to know you this year alone, this past year, than people they knew you before. Is it not the same with you? Yeah. The same with you, okay? Mm-hmm. So greatness could come from that time conversion. So from time, we could actually crave and produce greatness for ourselves. Tell people about that.
Yes, sir. The greatness
of
fame. No one becomes great by merely existing.
I see.
Great people are.
What about if you are existing?
Great people are great because there is something attached to their existence that moves them from just being a biomass to being personalities. What makes one great is because there is something, you mention their name, there's something you can attach to it.
I see.
Let's mention the name of Messi, Lionel Messi, football. Let's mention Oprah Winfrey, talk show. Let's mention Michael Jordan, basketball. So what I started telling myself is, I know what comes to people's mind. Well, if they mention your name, yes. if they mention your name and there's nothing they can, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. That's it. That's greatness right there. Bill Gates. Oh, come on. That's Microsoft. What can they attach to your name? Was what I asked myself. Son, boy, what? So that exactly.
But even though you were busy before now, I couldn't say reformator before now. What happened?
Well, it's knowledge and the understanding of what you've been
converted to the right product.
Yes.
You did the right activity and converted that time to the right product.
Yes, sir.
Rather than just
doing things,
spending
time. And that's what brings greatness. Because I read a quote by Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, and he was talking about, he was saying this to the misfits, to the rebels, to the the square pegs in the round holes, for those who go against the status quo, and those who people would want to refer to them as evil, as bad, rebels. And he said these ones are people who are crazy, and people see them as crazy, but these ones are the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world, and they eventually change the world. And that if you can be crazy enough to think that you can do something to change this world, you would actually become that thing. And so for me, I had to just wake up and think, see, if I'm going with the way everyone is going, then I'm going to be lost in the whole crowd. If I'm teaching, I'm preaching, I'm talking and behaving like everyone is behaving, come on. There are already millions of people like that. So how can I stand out? How can I become someone? How can I make a mark? So then that made me start thinking about, man, I have to go against status quo. I have to be crazy enough to think that I can actually do something that can revolutionize the whole world. And that's what is behind what we're doing, the 1 week stuff. We just came and I'm like, come on. People might think we're crazy. People might think, sure, people actually thought we're crazy. Some even commented that we've lost our mind. Someone said, but you just graduated from medical school. Do you just wake up one day and just, what happens to you? Well, you can say I lost my mind. You can say I got crazy. But the point is, I found out that what brings greatness, many people run away from. And then I attached myself to it. I embraced it, and I began to convert my time to produce this result, to produce this product. And the thing about products is that no one can shut their eyes to products. Like, is a food that will say, oh, there's no Facebook. Or they say, no, there's no Microsoft. When you release your product, everyone can, oh, that's a product right there. That's something right there. So, for me, when I got that, I'm like, I got it.
How do you create greatness out of the product of time, of the resource of time? What just happened to you this last week? From time, you yourself started producing product that brought you incredible amount of authority.
As said, the journey did not start now, but there's always something in every reaction called the catalyst. The catalyst, once you put it into the reaction, everything just goes haywire.
You did catalyst. People think about it as if something that you just have to wait for it, and maybe it's a time thing, or maybe it's an accidental thing, or it's a chance thing. But this is what you produce intentionally.
Yes, but what we are trying to bring about is, even if you've not met the greatest thing you are looking for, start doing something. Yes, because for example, I wasn't converting great enough, but I was converting. So if I was not converting even the little that I was converting, when I saw you and I saw the work you do, it might not have made sense to me. So, but because there was something little that was coming up already, when I saw the example of how great it can be, how not to fear the backlash, to go for what I want to go for. I was speaking with a parent who was talking to me about the concern they had about something the world was doing. And I said, if you want him to be if you want him to be on the world stage, then you cannot stop him from addressing world problems. So the conversion and what the difference has been where the focus is from what it was. So before one was looking around, but now the eyes is on the global stage. The global and the future. The global and the future. So you are not solving the problem of your generation. Most of them, you've done what you can do, but you are doing your best to secure a future. And that's why you are addressing these things, so that if they change, you may not even enjoy the product of the change. But those who will come after you will enjoy it. And that is exactly what I am doing now. that for every day I'm living my life, it may not even be for my generation, but for the next. And so that's where my reasoning is coming from. I just want to live in that future, to live. Probably I'm saying this from one of your books that has not even been released. Who will come to your funeral? I mean, that one plus seeing everything you do is, I mean, maybe me, I think I'm talking from a different angle. from a whole different angle. Because when you read Pastor's book, Who Will Come to Your Funeral, and it's telling you about what will you be remembered for exactly. So when you are converting, you are not just thinking of converting anything. You are thinking of converting products that will be monuments. Know that there are many artworks, but Mona Lisa stands the test of time. The Sistine Temple Church by Michelangelo stands the test of time. This is an artwork with a future in mind. So when Jesus even was converting that 3 years of ministry, he was converting with me, who will exist maybe 2,000 years much later, in mind. So this conversion of time has become so real, even through the life of Jesus. And that is who we are modeled after. I am seeing conversion in the scriptures. That a man will sow 3 years to gain eternity.
To gain the world.
To gain the world. I'm seeing that conversion. So, for example, one of the practical steps I took was that before I go for any meeting, I'm calculating the time to and the time fro. When I do that, then I calculate the purpose of the meeting. So I would rather spend my time building my human resource connection with somebody. And that means I would rather spend probably my time with Julie and build a good connection with Julie than to go for a meeting that will not produce anything.
Or sit at home and just add value.
Yeah. So, for example, practically now.
Today is Sunday.
Today is Sunday. That was Sunday. Someone said Happy Sunday. I was trying to remember it's today Sunday. and that is not because I've lost connection with God. No. But because the last time I was in church, the minister was ministering, and through my shifting system, I'm like, what's nonsense? So how many what nonsense would I say in a month? When indeed I know that if I spend that same hour, that same time at home, to just listen to to go back to my library of both videos and books, and I invest it in the direction that I know this is the direction that my own life is going, I will not be distracted by an event that I am not even obliged to be in. So now I'm converting, and the next time they see my next project, people will be wondering, how did you do all of? Because when I tell people about the things I did while I was in medical school, they are wondering how did you have the time to do that. And you are even saying that and saying those were still mediocre. So you should know how much work I know I have left. So the next time I'm not picking your call, it's not my fault. Because before I pick your call, I'll be wondering, and that's not selfish, it's just because I am of service.
Conversion.
To other people. And I have to convert to meet the demand of those other people. Because we have 24 hours in terms of time. And sometimes when you want to convert products of that magnitude, and that's why what people buy is other people's time. Those who employ you, what they are buying is your time. Because they know you don't know how to use it, so come and use it for us. That's the whole essence of job.
Yeah.
And someone also offered me that, but I had to convert it in my own head too. And now I'm doing a job, and it's like, but even let's even say I'm doing a job. For example, I teach English online to make little ends meet while I'm settling down. And someone asked me, is this your second job? I said, the day I start to see it as a job, I'm going to quit. Why? Because it's on that platform that I've met people with depression and I'm speaking to. It's on that platform that I've called greatness out in people. One of my students said to me, say, Victor, do you know nobody has ever told me about purpose in my life? All they tell me is, let's go and drink beer. This person is not African, no. This is not an African person. He said, you know, you are the first person that is telling me about purpose. Now, this is something someone else will see as a job. I see it as a platform to invest in people's life. Some of them, after they see my name, they go and Google it and they see my story, they come back and say, you're a celebrity in Nigeria. They see your story and say, how did you do this? Maybe not everybody, but that one, that two, that keeps coming back, and I'm able to impact their life. That is why I am on that platform, because I don't know who that one would be. And somebody, she's 23 years old, one of my clients, 23 years old. She just started a job. And when she started, she was lucky enough to meet me, and I've been telling her that same thing, her job kills. Then we've not been in contact for about 3 weeks. Then she came back and said, she wrote me and said, Victor, my job is making me sad. I said, you are 23. In 5 years, you will be depressed. In 5 years, if you continue this cycle, you'll be depressed. Because all she does is go to work and come back. In that same cycle. No conversion. Before you talk about conversion, you know purpose. She doesn't even know what picture she has. She doesn't even know. Now, it is my own time conversion now to know that my time on this platform with her now is not to just come and teach her English. Or the next person is to deposit fruits and seeds of greatness in them. And so even though I am in Ukraine, my seeds are in Japan, my seeds are in Korea, my seeds are down there in Thailand, my seeds are in Taiwan. And that is how I am converting a stage that would ordinarily have been a job. That would have kept me in Uncle Sam. And don't forget, I'm still getting money for the thing I'm doing, but with a greater purpose. And that for me is why when I wake up by 5, I don't feel it, because I'm looking for the next person who, it's not all of them at the end of the day, but I just don't know who that person will be, who will be submissive enough. There's a lady who I spoke to today. She had to leave her current job because she was depressed. Now she's going to start a new one, and the best thing that has happened to her yet. She's always excited to talk to me. Why? Because what someone presented to me, I know how to convert. Another thing, I shared a video on my graduation. Our graduation in Ukraine is always for taking pictures. Everyone knows that. But I said, no, I cannot go 1 minute on that stage and come back. And it will just be to take pictures and collect my certificate. So when I got there, I raised my hands up and I made a statement. And that statement today stands as a monument, because I said, tell Mama we made it. So when people are reading my story, the orphan boy or whatever, and they see a boy, that same boy, raise up his hand and say, tell Mama we made it. They are not just looking at someone going to collect a certificate. I have converted that time now to an inspiration. It's tangible. So every other person went there, collected a certificate. I was never going to do that.
And you didn't need much time.
No, it was just go and collect a certificate.
A few seconds.
But I knew, he was the one who recorded it, I knew I had to convert it. So by the time I sent that video out, it was speaking volume. Until the end of time, when people will still be talking about me, and
one phrase that takes only a few seconds became a monument.
Yes.
Conversion.
Yes. So you cannot detach that video.
People just use to go and pass and just go up and down.
Yes. So we are looking at what is the great product we can make with Next. So there are a lot of projects that I was discussing with success. There are a lot of projects that are on our head. When we think of how to convert them, we are thinking of which one will bring the greatest impact.
Greatness.
So we are not just, because they are ideas, we are not just thinking of doing. We are thinking of building monuments, things that will stand the test of time. 25 years they will be referring to it. This is what someone did. So, and I think this is just the beginning.
Conversion for greatness. So it's still the same thing. How to convert, how to become great. So this is greatness.
Yes.
Converting time for greatness.
Yes.
Exchanging it for greatness.
Yes. And when you talk in the society, don't just talk if you don't have the idea, or you don't have the what you will say that will be great. It's better to keep quiet.
Not just keep quiet, but while you are keeping quiet, you are
Thinking.
you are meditating, adding and creating
In your head, yes. Because if you just
Convert
it will still be a waste of time.
Yeah.
So it's the idea is to make sure that the next statement you are going to say is going to be massive.
Yeah.
It's going to be an impact. That's why for me as a person, even when I write poems, every line of my poem, the day I get to sit down, I have hidden books in my poems. Books are in my poems. So when people say, Victor, you don't write simple poems, write for people to understand. Say, don't worry, you don't know what I'm doing.
I'm writing for the invisible future.
Yeah. I write books in my poems. Because the day I get to explain just one line,
It's a book.
maybe not, let's not even call it a book, a chapter. When I say in the palms of the turf lays the echoes of our times. So that conversion is about the greatness of the product. If you are not going to produce anything great, you are just managing time. And that's what the rest of the world does.
Time management.
Yes. Like you said, and you quoted this man said, I awoke and found out that the rest of the world was still sleeping. Those who are awake are those who are converting time.
Why the rest of the world
Are still sleeping. But some of them are managing time, even in their sleep.
they don't even know they are sleeping because they are running up and down.
Yeah.
You know why people are sleeping? They are running up and down. They are going to work. They are giving,
Yeah.
but they are sleeping
They're existing.
because they are daydreaming. You know, when you are daydreaming, you are walking about, you are having, you are marrying, you are. Ask most people about their wedding day. They don't remember what happened. Only the video reminds them. Why? Because they were asleep. So people are daydreaming, they are sleeping, but they are marrying, they are having children. They don't even know what happened. Going to work, come back, but they are asleep. So they are not awake. I awoke and I discovered that the rest of the world is sleeping. Time conversion. So if you have not gotten this book, anybody that is up there, please go look for the book. How to Become Great Through Time Conversion. By the way, can you believe it? I saw somebody enter into my house now. The person who is doing all these covers, all the covers for my book, just entered now. Alex, come here. I know, leave the place. Let him come and talk. Ask how does it convert? How does it create all these miracles? Talk to Alex. This is Alex. This is the person
Hello,
that
Alex.
is responsible for all the book covers, all those miracles that you say. He's the one. Even this magazine that you are seeing here, that cover is the one who made it. That's the person you'll be asking for. That's the miracle worker there. Okay, ask him questions.
Okay.
Alex, what do you tell people?
Dr. Sandey was just saying, if you couldn't hear him, that this is Alex, and this is the person that produces all his book covers, and including this magazine cover. He's the one that
All my
produced
books.
it. All his books, all of them.
Russian, English.
So, both in Russian and in English language. So, Alex, I think you should just take the floor and tell us how you convert your time to create something like this.
My English not so well, so I cannot answer so clearly for you to understand. But it's also wondering what Pastor Sandey is saying all this week, 2 weeks. I've been online.
About truth.
Yeah, about truth. It's like breaking my mind now. So I understand that this message has to be touched not just thousands of people, but a million and billions of people, as you said. So I believe that it could be. I believe that this message must touch people through the books as soon as possible. So I try to do my best what I can. So sorry for my English.
I think we can understand you. So keep talking.
So I'm happy to do that work, to be part of that, to be part of the DSA family and be part of that project, huge project worldwide. So I believe that it's only a small part of whole God's work that He's producing and doing here on this planet. So as for me, I'm trying to see my future in the products. So how it and I'm trying to do the best I can to bring the ideas and images from the future to here now, to bring it. I believe that God put it to this opportunity and possibility to every one of us. Everybody can do that. Everybody, not just great persons who was born great, but we are great. We was born great. Everybody of us. So we have to find out it and do it to switch it on. Just switch it on. So I believe that this is all of these messages, all of these words that DSA we can hear here online or here present in here. It's very important and very very important words that we have to understand and switch on our minds, our hearts, and our destinies.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was a great answer from Alex. I don't know if you guys caught all his answers there. Yeah, so some of the things that he said was that he loves being part of the DSA family, and he's also been learning, especially from the Truth series that Dr. Sandey started a few weeks ago, and he's taking something out of that. But something that I took out of this topic today in terms of time conversion is that he wants to leave his own mark as well. And he creates these things, the depictions of he wants to leave his mark for the future, so that we can see him in the future. So when he's no longer here, you can still see signs, you can still see him in it. Another question that I would like to ask is in terms of his creativity, how does he see these images that he puts down? Because, you know, we discuss images as well sometimes, and we discuss, oh, take this for these reasons or not. Dr. Sandey is usually showing us which one is better, which one do you think? But, you know, you really have this grasp on depicting the titles of the books. So you really give us the image of what the words are. So yes, that comes from the inside, it comes from somewhere. So how does that come about?
I think he studies a lot. I think he studied reading maybe.
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, Alex.
Okay. As everybody in any profession, I have to be always on the process of studying and looking at the other how do other people does they work as best as they can.
Yes.
So I'm trying to see everybody how they do their job on who is on the top of it. So I'm trying to see. I don't know how. It's kind of miracle, but it's predictable, you know. So I don't know how I can see it, but I can see it. Wow. The image. I could not explain it.
Yeah. Okay. I think I have some understanding in terms of, you know, first of all, you study other people, and you study the people at the top of their game, the people that are the best. So you are actually converting time all the time. You know, even when you're not actually working, the time that you're spending in order to develop yourself, to understand what other people are doing in the industry, that's your conversion. And then you put your own creations, which is the future that you see, you put it into the covers and the designs that you do. Well done. Thank you very much.
It's also need practicing always, to do practicing to sharpen your talent, to sharpen your mastery. So it's have to be always. You have to be always concentrated and focused. Every time when I heard the new book title, I always, even when I sleeping or I'm walking, I hold it in my mind and I am trying to convert it. And you know, and after that, you can see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Conversion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you hear that, guys? He said even when he's sleeping, he's saying that. So this is somebody converting 24 hours is when he's sleeping. And then you will truly see when he's sleeping and he's converting, we see what he is converted to. So thank you very much, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're back, guys. Hello, guys. Thank you for staying with us. It's an hour and 45 minutes. We'll be back in 15 minutes. So please join us again. Have a cup of water, tea, whatever you want to have, and join us at 9 p.m. Dr. Sandey will continue with the Truth series. So what truth is? Today's title will be interesting as usual. So please join us. We'll see you shortly. Take care. Bye.